What's up? It's day 9. Basically, oh yeah, so cool. So I got I got my parts earlier than I thought I was going to. So I'm gonna go ahead and open that. But basically, what I'm gonna do today, I've decided to just say screw it for shampooing the carpet. That'll take too long, and I want to get this thing on the road today. But so I'm just gonna vacuum up the other side just like I did this side, put the seats back in, and then get these brakes done, then bleed the brakes, and it'll be good to go. First I need to make sure everything's going to fit, because if nothing fits, nothing goes in the car. There's some of it, some more. And then there's the rest of it. Okay, so let me get some gloves on. And we're going to make sure that everything actually fits. Wow, they shrink wrapped in that, or they like vacuum sealed in that rubber band that's keeping those together. That's weird. So first I got to make sure that all the ends fit into the brake line. Should be -3 AN or whatever the fuck. I don't know brake line fittings like that. It said, I think -3 AN was the size of these on both ends. I only need one fitting from each pocket, but they didn't have sets of one, so I just got 2. So this one should be it's on this side. Yep. So that side fits, and this side fits. Great. So now, using this, I gotta make sure this will fit in this side, which it does. Perfect. And then this side is gonna go into the brake shoe. And assuming this goes in, then we are completely set to get this thing on the road today. Oh, let me get this rubber band off of this line. Okay. It should be this side. Oh, I gotta get the old one out, I guess. Alright, I'll do that real quick and then I'll show you about this. Okay, so we've got this end that we need to make sure fits in the really hope this works. By the way, I know I bought too much brake line, but whatever. I don't know what size this is. It looks like a 12. Maybe 13? 14. Huh. I guess this is a 15. Yep. Alright, so this fitting's a 15. Still a tight fit. There we go. It fits. So now we just got to reflare the old brake line and then hook it all up. This might be easier than I thought. Watch, now it'll take me 3 hours. I did it. Got the new brake line on there. No leaks. Let me get a light real quick. There you go. No leaks from this. It is all good to go. I just blooded and everything. Now I just gotta make sure the other side is bled. I don't know, the setup is weird, but I'll just make sure that the brakes are actually stopping the wheel from moving, and then this thing will be on the road. I'm also gonna double check that the front brakes are bled. I just took it on the first drive. I got a full new tank of gas. I aired up all the tires. Oh yeah, and I washed out the engine bay, so it's not as nasty. Still pretty nasty. But I'll have to spend quite a bit of time in here with a little brush if I want it to really look good. But it runs. No misfires. The brakes are functional. But it's not done. The brakes, I'm getting a lot of pedal wobble when I get on it, especially at high speeds. So it's like I get on the brakes and it starts like kicking back. So I've either got warped rotors or really low pads on one part or something. I'll have to check it out there. But then also, not always, but a lot of the time, it's dying when I come down to idle. So it's something with, I'm believing it's something with the air. It's either down here at the air sensor, or it's one of these vacuum hoses, or it's the throttle cable might be too loose. It might need to be tightened up. So I'm going to check the throttle cable first, and if not, I'm going to open the air box, make sure that it's not like a totally clogged air filter, and then I don't know where I'll try from there. Yep, it's like I thought. The throttle cable is crazy loose. So I'm going to tighten that up a bit and then see if that doesn't fix that. Hi. So, yeah, we got this thing on the road last night and it did well. It was dying on idle, but we tightened up the throttle cable. A little too much. I do got to loosen that just a bit. But it's no longer dying on idle, and then the problem we had once we got home was that those are pretty corroded. So I'm going to do something that I was told works, which is I'm going to soak those in Coca-Cola, which is what's in that bag. I'm going to soak them at least overnight. So yeah, I think the positive side looks pretty good, but I'm still going to have those soaked too. So that's what I'm doing tonight. I'm just going to loosen up the throttle cable a bit and then soak these in Coke overnight. So I submerged the cable ends in the Coca-Cola bottles, and it actually seems to be working really well. Both of the bottles, this one particularly, foamed up like crazy. This one not so much, but it could be because I didn't spread all the copper wires out like I did, as much as I did for this side. But I'm going to let that sit overnight, and then we're going to come back and see if it's any better. What's up? So I couldn't wait all night, and it looks like I didn't need to. The battery leads are pretty much all cleared up, so I got it all hooked up. now what I'm doing is I'm letting it warm up, and then I'm going to calibrate the throttle cable so it's idling at the recommended RPM. Because last night we were hitting anywhere from 1,000 to 1,500 on the idle. So I'm going to do what I can to back that down to the 800 or so that it recommends. Yeah, 800 RPM is idle recommended. So right now we're at 1,700, but that's it warming up. We're going to let it warm up and see where it settles. I'm also going to monitor the temperature and stuff just to make sure it's all okay. Yeah, and I got an O2 sensor to fix too, but that's not high on my priority list. Alright, that should be good. We're sitting like at 800, so now we're going to look at the temp. We're sitting at a chilly 200. I wouldn't say chilly, but that is like optimal temperature. My new spark plugs and air filter got here today, so I'll pick those up tomorrow morning. Now I'm just going to put everything back together and then get on the road, because I got to go pick up some batteries and I think maybe one or two other things. So, plus I just want to drive it because I can. Alright, so we're back from that ride. That was some good fun. I definitely stressed it some more. You know, I don't think it's really doing it's not really smoking on startup very much at all anymore. I've still got some check engine lights that are coming up. That both of my O2 sensors have given me check engine lights now, as well as it's still giving me the crankshaft position sensor, which doesn't make any sense since I replaced that and the connector. And I looked it up online and I saw that sometimes it throws the code for that just if it detects a bunch of misfires, but this isn't misfiring at all, so I'm not really sure why it's doing that. But then it's also throwing the code for hold on, we can put it back in. Oh, the closed throttle position switch. I'm guessing because we tightened the throttle cable to the point where it's actually kind of opening the throttle all the time, so it wouldn't die. But I guess it doesn't like that. I'm not exactly sure how to counter that, but it's running fine right now. It's just throwing up a code, but it's not affecting how it runs. So, I mean, I'll just run with it for now. Today it's early in the AM on Thursday, so I'm gonna go to bed, wake up, go get those Suzuki parts, and drop this thing off at the alignment shop. That's my plan tomorrow.